Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel. I'm Sophia, and I'm so happy you decided to spend a little time with us today.
And I'm Jake. Whether you're drinking your morning coffee, traveling to work, relaxing at home, or taking a walk outside, thank you for listening.
We hope you can slow down for a few minutes, enjoy this conversation, and learn English in a calm and natural way.
Today, we are talking about something that almost everyone experiences every single day.
Yes, we are going to talk about morning routines, and more specifically, how a simple morning routine can help you have a more productive and peaceful day.
As always, we will use natural English that is comfortable for B1 to C1 learners. We want you to enjoy the conversation while improving your listening, vocabulary, and speaking skills.
Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just relax, follow the conversation, and let your English improve naturally over time.
Before we begin, we'd like to ask you one simple question.
Think about it quietly while you listen.
What is the first thing you usually do after you wake up?
Maybe you immediately check your phone.
Maybe you make coffee before you even say good morning to anyone.
Maybe you enjoy a few quiet minutes before the day becomes busy.
Or maybe your mornings feel rushed and you don't really have a routine at all.
Every answer is completely normal. There isn't one perfect morning routine that works for everyone.
But many successful and happy people have one thing in common. They try to begin their day with intention, instead of simply reacting to whatever happens first.
That word, intention, is important. It means doing something because you choose to, not because you feel forced.
When your morning begins with intention, you often feel calmer throughout the rest of the day.
Instead of feeling like the day is controlling you, you begin to feel that you are guiding your own day.
Of course, life is not always predictable. Some mornings are busy and some mornings don't go according to plan.
That's true. A productive morning isn't about having a perfect schedule every single day.
It's more about creating small habits that make life a little easier and a little more enjoyable.
Jake, can I ask you something?
Of course, go ahead.
Are you naturally a morning person?
Honestly, not really.
Really? I thought you would jump out of bed full of energy every morning.
I wish that were true. In reality, my alarm clock and I have a complicated relationship.
That sounds familiar. What usually happens?
The alarm rings, I tell myself I'll stay in bed for just one more minute.
And does 1 minute stay 1 minute?
Never. Somehow, 1 minute becomes 10 minutes, and suddenly I'm asking myself why time moves so fast in the morning.
I think many listeners understand exactly what you mean.
Probably. But over the last few years, I've learned that the first 15 or 20 minutes after waking up really influence how the rest of my day feels.
That's interesting. What changed?
I stopped trying to create a perfect morning routine.
What do you mean by that?
I used to read articles online about successful people.
Let me guess. Wake up at 5 in the morning, exercise for an hour, meditate, read 50 pages, drink a green smoothie, and answer emails before sunrise.
Exactly.
And then people compare themselves with those routines and feel disappointed.
That's what happened to me. I tried following those complicated routines for a few days.
How did it go?
It worked for about 3 mornings.
Only 3?
Yes. After that, I became tired, frustrated, and eventually returned to my old habits.
I think that's a common experience.
Then I realized something important. A routine only works if it fits your real life.
That's such a simple idea, but many people forget it.
Instead of asking, what is the perfect morning routine, I started asking, what kind of morning helps me feel my best?
I like that question because it is personal.
Exactly. Everyone has different work schedules, different families, different responsibilities, and different personalities.
Some people feel energetic early in the morning.
Others become more creative later in the day.
Neither one is wrong.
The goal isn't to copy someone else's routine.
The goal is to understand yourself better.
Sophia, what about you? Have you always enjoyed mornings?
Actually, yes. I've always liked the quiet feeling that exists before the world becomes busy.
What do you enjoy most about that time?
Everything feels slower. The streets are quieter, my mind feels clearer, and I don't feel pressure yet.
So your morning isn't only about getting things done.
Exactly. For me, productivity doesn't mean doing as many tasks as possible.
That's an interesting definition.
I think productivity means using my energy wisely.
Can you explain that a little more?
Of course. Imagine two people who both complete 10 tasks today.
Okay.
One person finishes everything but feels exhausted, stressed, and unhappy.
And the other person?
The second person completes fewer tasks but stays calm, focused, and has enough energy left to enjoy the evening with family or friends.
So who had the more productive day?
I would actually choose the second person.
Because productivity isn't only about numbers.
Exactly. It's also about quality of life.
I think many people forget that. They believe being busy automatically means being productive.
But being busy and being productive are not always the same thing.
Sometimes, people spend the whole day moving from one activity to another without making real progress.
That's why mornings can be so valuable. They give us a chance to choose what really matters before distractions begin.
Speaking of distractions, I have a confession.
Oh, this sounds interesting.
For years, the first thing I did every morning was check my phone.
Before getting out of bed?
Yes.
Social media?
Sometimes social media, sometimes emails, sometimes the news, sometimes messages.
How did that affect your mornings?
At first, I didn't notice anything unusual.
But later?
Later, I realized my brain was already full before my feet even touched the floor.
That's a powerful way to describe it.
Within 5 minutes of waking up, I was thinking about work, other people's opinions, breaking news, and dozens of things I couldn't control.
Instead of beginning the day with your own thoughts, your attention immediately belonged to everyone else.
Exactly. I wasn't choosing my morning anymore. My phone was choosing it for me.
I think many of us can relate to that.
One day, I decided to make one small change.
Only one?
Yes. I told myself I wouldn't touch my phone during the first 15 minutes after waking up.
That sounds surprisingly simple.
It was simple, but it wasn't easy. My hand almost reached for the phone automatically.
Habits can be surprisingly strong.
They really can. But after a week, I noticed something unexpected.
What happened?
My mornings felt quieter. I wasn't rushing mentally before the day had even started.
That's a wonderful feeling.
I still checked my phone later, but by then I had already had a chance to wake up, stretch a little, drink some water, and simply notice the beginning of a new day.
It's interesting how such a small change can completely change the feeling of a morning.
I was surprised too. I always believed I needed a complicated system to become more productive, but in reality, I only needed a few simple habits that I could repeat every day.
That reminds me of something I learned a long time ago. Big improvements often begin with very small actions.
Exactly. People sometimes imagine that productive people have unlimited energy or endless motivation.
But most of the time, they simply have routines that help them make fewer decisions.
That is an important idea. Every decision uses a little bit of mental energy.
So if you already know what you will do after waking up, your brain can relax instead of wondering what comes next.
Sophia, what does your first half hour usually look like?
It changes a little depending on the day, but the general structure stays almost the same.
Walk us through it.
The first thing I do is open the curtains and let natural light into the room.
That sounds simple, but I imagine it helps your body wake up naturally.
Yes, it does. Even on cloudy mornings, natural light tells my brain that the day has started.
Then what happens?
I drink a glass of water before I make coffee.
Water before coffee?
Yes, after sleeping for several hours, our bodies need water. Coffee comes a little later.
I have to admit, coffee is usually the first thing on my mind.
I understand. I enjoy coffee too. I just try not to let it become the very first thing I depend on every morning.
That's a healthy way to think about it.
After that, I spend a few quiet minutes without any music, videos, or notifications.
Do you meditate?
Not always. Sometimes I simply sit quietly and notice how I feel.
That sounds peaceful.
It is. I ask myself a few simple questions.
Like what?
How is my energy today? What is the most important thing I want to finish? What kind of attitude do I want to have?
I like that the questions are practical instead of complicated.
Exactly. I don't need perfect answers. I just want to begin the day with a little awareness.
Awareness is another useful word.
Yes, awareness means paying attention to what is happening instead of moving through life automatically.
I think many mornings feel automatic.
That's true. We wake up, rush through breakfast, answer messages, leave the house, and suddenly half the day has disappeared.
Sometimes people arrive at work already feeling tired.
Not because they worked hard, but because they started the day feeling rushed.
One thing that helped me was preparing the night before.
That's a great habit. What do you prepare?
Usually my clothes, my bag, and a short list of the most important tasks for the next day.
So your morning becomes much simpler.
Exactly. Instead of making lots of small decisions, I can simply follow the plan I already created.
I think many people forget that a productive morning actually begins the evening before.
That's such a good point.
If you stay awake very late, sleep poorly, and leave everything until the morning, even the best routine becomes difficult.
Sleep really changes everything.
It does. Many people search for secret productivity tips while ignoring something as basic as getting enough rest.
I've noticed that when I sleep well, even ordinary tasks feel easier.
And when you're tired, even small problems seem much bigger.
Very true. Have you ever had one of those mornings where everything goes wrong?
Of course, I think everyone has.
What happened?
One morning, I overslept because my alarm didn't ring.
That's never a good start.
Then I realized I had forgotten to charge my phone during the night.
Oh no!
While making breakfast, I accidentally dropped my toast on the floor.
The famous 5-second rule?
Not that day. I decided the floor deserved the toast more than I did.
That's probably the safest decision.
At first, I thought the entire day was ruined.
But was it?
No. I stopped for a moment, took a deep breath, made another piece of toast, and reminded myself that one bad morning doesn't have to become a bad day.
I really like that lesson.
We often believe that if one thing goes wrong, everything else will go wrong too.
But that's only a story we tell ourselves.
Exactly. Every hour gives us another chance to make a better choice.
I think that's why flexibility is so important.
Yes, a routine should support your life, not control it.
If you miss one habit, you don't need to give up completely.
You simply continue with the next good choice.
That mindset removes a lot of unnecessary pressure.
Another mistake people often make is trying to change everything at once.
They create a list with 10 new habits and expect themselves to follow every one perfectly.
Then, after a few difficult days, they feel disappointed.
Instead, it is usually better to add just one small habit.
Practice it until it feels natural. Then, if you want, you can slowly build another habit on top of it.
Little by little, those small habits begin to shape your mornings.
And after enough time, they also begin to shape the kind of person you become.
That is a beautiful thought, because many people think they need to change their entire life overnight.
But lasting change is usually much quieter than that.
Yes, it often looks ordinary from the outside.
Someone wakes up a little earlier, drinks a glass of water, spends 10 minutes reading, goes for a short walk, or plans the day before checking social media.
None of those actions seem extraordinary by themselves.
But when they're repeated consistently, they become part of who you are.
That brings us to another important word: consistency.
Consistency means continuing to do something regularly, even when you don't always feel motivated.
Motivation is wonderful, but it comes and goes.
Habits stay with us much longer.
Jake, have you noticed any long-term benefits from improving your mornings?
Definitely. One of the biggest changes is that I feel less stressed before work.
Really? Tell us more.
Years ago, I used to wake up at the last possible moment.
I think many listeners know that feeling.
Every morning felt like a race. I was always looking for something I couldn't find.
Keys?
Sometimes my keys, sometimes my wallet, sometimes my confidence.
Losing confidence in the morning sounds expensive.
It really was. I started every day feeling behind.
And now?
Now I give myself a little extra time. Even 15 peaceful minutes make a huge difference.
What do those extra minutes give you?
They give me space to think instead of simply reacting.
That word react is useful.
Yes, when we react, we let outside events decide our emotions.
But when we pause for a moment, we can choose our response.
Exactly. That doesn't mean every day becomes perfect.
Of course not.
Traffic still exists, unexpected emails still arrive, problems still happen.
Life will always surprise us.
But a calm beginning makes those surprises easier to handle.
I completely agree.
Sophia, what advice would you give someone who says, I don't have enough time for a morning routine?
I would say that a morning routine doesn't have to be long.
That's encouraging.
Even 5 or 10 minutes intentional can change how your day begins.
So it isn't really about the length.
No, it's about the quality.
Someone might spend 20 minutes scrolling through their phone without noticing the time.
But those same 20 minutes could be used in a much more meaningful way.
Reading a few pages of a book?
Stretching your body?
Writing down 3 important tasks?
Enjoying breakfast without looking at a screen?
Or simply sitting quietly while drinking a cup of tea or coffee?
Small moments like these help us reconnect with ourselves before the world asks for our attention.
That's a wonderful way to describe it.
Thank you.
Another thing I've learned is not to compare my routine with someone else's.
Comparison can steal a lot of joy.
Absolutely. Some people exercise early in the morning.
Others prefer exercising in the evening.
Some enjoy writing in a journal.
Others prefer taking a quiet walk.
There isn't one correct answer.
The best routine is the one that helps you become healthier, calmer, and more focused.
And most importantly, it's the one you can actually continue.
Exactly.
Before we finish today's conversation, let's review some useful vocabulary from this episode.
Great idea.
The first word is routine.
Routine is something you do regularly in the same order.
For example, my morning routine helps me feel prepared for the day.
The next word is productive.
Productive means using your time or energy effectively to achieve something useful.
You could say, I feel more productive after planning my day.
Another useful word is intention.
Intention means doing something with a clear purpose.
For example, I want to begin my morning with intention instead of rushing.
We also used the word awareness.
Awareness means noticing what is happening around you and inside your mind.
Another important word is consistency.
Consistency means continuing good habits regularly over time.
We also talked about flexibility.
Flexibility means being able to adapt when things don't go exactly as planned.
And finally, we used the word balance.
Balance means giving enough attention to different parts of your life instead of focusing on only one.
If you'd like to practice your English today, try making one sentence using each of these new words.
You can even describe your own morning routine using them.
Before we say goodbye, we'd like you to think about our question one more time. What is the first thing you usually do after waking up?
And if you could change just one small habit tomorrow morning, what would it be?
Remember, you don't need a perfect routine. You don't need to wake up at an impossible hour or copy someone else's lifestyle.
Real progress begins with small choices that fit your own life.
Maybe tomorrow you drink a glass of water before checking your phone.
Maybe you spend 5 quiet minutes planning your day.
Maybe you simply smile, open the window, and enjoy the fresh morning air.
Those little moments may seem ordinary, but over time they create extraordinary results.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd love to hear from you.
Write a comment and tell us where you're listening from and one morning habit that helps you have a better day.
Reading your comments always reminds us that our listeners come from many different countries but share the same goal of improving their English.
Thank you for spending part of your day with us.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember that every new morning is another opportunity to begin again.
Take care of yourself, enjoy the journey, and we'll see you again soon here on Chill English Channel.